Howdy folks, LP Guru here, signing in for Let's Play Final Fantasy 1, Episode 20. And as always, we're picking up right where the previous episode ended. This time around, this episode is going to be relatively short and sweet. As mentioned, towards the end of the previous recording, I'm going to be purchasing as many spells as we possibly can, what we have the money for. I should be able to buy everything, should have enough money, but just as a potential heads up, letting you all know that. I'm going to go ahead and buy break. And completely outfit the white wizard as well. Having to remember that they are both considered wizards now and no longer mages since they have both been promoted. So, Cure 4 and Dia 4. And I believe we still need level... Nope, that is level 7 spells. Let's do level 8 spells we need now, which are right up here somewhere. Yeah. And yes, this is a very nice chunk of change that's being dropped on magic, but it's most definitely worth it. This should be what, another 120,000 gil, I believe. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get everything. I'm debating with myself, trying to decide what I was going to do, if I was going to go ahead and buy all three, and as everyone just witnessed, that's what I did. So, and now, I'm going to look at the magic one more time. We just need the third level 7 white magic spell for the white wizard and 2 more spells for the black wizard. So now it's time to backtrack. Alright, really? Come on, what we're doing? We're dancing? Come on. Come on now, thank you. This is why I started off here in the town of Gaia. I will be traveling back to Melmond and Elfheim, I believe, are the other 2 towns. And Crescent Lake, that was the other one I could not think of. So, since we're already relatively close to Crescent Lake, will be our first stop. And here, I believe Warp 2 is the spell for our white wizard. I'll find out in just a second if that's right. Yeah, looks like it is. We have 3. They just have to determine which one to get rid of, which of course is going to be Invis 2. I'm going to take care of that really quick. And the main difference between Warp 1 and Warp 2, of course, is that Warp 1 only returns you to the previous floor in a dungeon, but Warp 2 allows you to completely warp out of the entire dungeon. So, identical to when we have defeated each of the fiends, the teleportal, and each of the crystal chambers. That is the exact same effect, but now we'll be able to use it anywhere, which is very, very handy. Okay, and everything's already been purchased in the shop. Moving right along. I'm gonna head due west to Elfheim. Take a look and see what all might have been missed in this town, because there were a few. It's not in this shop though, but there were a few spells that were reserved specifically for the White Wizard and Black Wizard, respectively. So now it's just a matter of going to the correct shop and purchasing those spells. Nope, and not here either. Going down the list really quick. Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing there. Oh, and before I forget that, let me go back in here. Since we have purchased Null All level 8 spell, at this point you can, if you wish, since Nullfire reduces fire damage by 50% and Null All reduces all spell damage by 50%, it's completely your call, your choice on the matter. But if you want to drop Nullfire here and pick up Heal 1, yeah, that's completely your choice. But at this point in the game, I typically just keep things as they are, simply because best case scenario with Heal 1, you're only going to restore up to 24 hit points to the entire party, and that's going to be seen. Everyone is well into the hundreds upon hundreds of hit points. So 24 hit points in the grand scheme of things isn't going to, be anything. Plus, now that we are in possession of the healing staff, that also has the same effect as Heal 1. So it kind of makes it a moot point, but again, it's completely up to each player as to their play style and what their preference may be. Alright, not here either, so it's looking like Elfheim might be a complete bust as far as needing new spells. Yeah, it looks like Elfheim only has level 3 and level 4 spells respectively, and yeah, I think that's, yeah. So never mind about Elfheim. We did not need to come here, but we do need to go back to Melmond. Okay, really that one little piece wouldn't allow me to land. And here, I believe it's just warp 1 for yeah, just warp 1 for the Black Wizard. I'm still gonna check out the White Magic shop though, just to be safe. That way I don't accidentally overlook anything since we're already here. Nope, we're good. Alright, so yes, as stated before, the main difference between Warp 1 and Warp 2. Warp 1 only returns you to the previous floor. Warp 2 allows you to completely exit the dungeon. The main positive trade-off in having both spells, though, of course, is to help your White Wizard out so that they're not constantly having to use Warp 2, because Warp 2 is, I'm gonna look really quick at the spell levels. It's a level 6 spell. We have 29 MP for level 6, but it's also on the same tier and level as Stona and Shield 2. So it's a very heavily relied upon spell level. So it's going to be important to keep that in mind and to help your White Wizard out by using a Warp 1 as needed. I mean, yes, if you're in a dungeon with 4 or 5 floors, that would mean you'd have to cast it, what, I believe 4 times, depending on the floor you're on, of course. If you're on the 4th floor, the 4th casting should return you to the surface. The 5th floor, 5 castings should get you back to the surface. So bear all that in mind, but it really is important to keep in mind. Alright, so we have taken care of Gaia. That was our starting point, but we do need to return to Gaia because that is the next place of interest for the story. This dude up here, I know we've talked to him before. I don't think he will say anything different, but it's important to have him say this in the same playthrough, just to make sure that the game actually unlocks certain things, because sometimes the game can just be funny about certain things. So sometimes you just have to make sure that certain NPCs, non-playable characters, are actually interacted with. That way, everything in the game plays out normal. Alright, so I'm gonna look at the world map because it's not super specific that you go to this location where we're about to head to, and I believe that the name of the next town, I think, good grief, I could talk, it's called Onlac, I believe is how it's pronounced, and it is due west. It is the town that I tried to get to earlier, I think in the previous episode, but couldn't due to forgetting that was not our destination. So this right here, I believe, is the town, so you have to park it and make the journey on over. Yeah, that looked like a pretty nasty hit that our master took, having to remember to call them by their new title. But we're all healed up and good to go. And of the two, it is very normal for the lesser tiger to be the monster that runs away. But the saber-tooth, I think is its name, it definitely sticks around to fight. Alright, and now that we are in Onlac, as always, I'm going to check out the various shops, see what all they have to offer. Definitely need to be stocking up on some gold needles, and I will, but first I'm going to save money for the other shops, just in case there's something that's rather expensive. Alright people, come on now. Get out my way, please. Okay, so these are the... These are the last two white magic spells for level 7. So, in truth, the game gives you 4 choices up until, I believe, level 6, I think. But then starting at level 7, you have, I think, 5, unless I am remembering that wrong. No, actually, I take that back. I remember now, because in Gaia, there were only 2 options in that shop, and again here in Online, there's only 2, but we have purchased 2, so that math adds up. So here you have to decide between Null Magic, which reinforces protection against instant death, or Heal 3, which restores between 48 to 96 hit points to the entire party. Normally, I would say go for Null Magic. However, since the entire party is outfitted in the Protect Ring, I'm probably going to hold off on Null Magic for right now. I'm also going to hold off on Heal 3 simply because either spell is 30,000 gil. I'm having to take that into consideration since we have, we're right under 55,000 gil. So taking certain things into consideration, but when you go into, well, talking about the amount of money we have is what I'm taking into consideration. But with the Protect Ring, it's always super important to pay attention to the description of both items, equipment, and spells. This is one of the reasons why I do read the description of things. It's not because I don't believe anybody watching, is unable to read. I believe everybody is capable of doing that. But the way things are worded tells you all you need to know, but it's also super important on how things are phrased, how things are worded, and where in the sentence certain words are placed. Those are huge clues for you. With the Protect Ring, it guards against instant death. So this means that you are guaranteed to be protected from instant death based attacks, whether they be special abilities or spells such as Doom, Reaper, and possibly even Poison. But with Null Magic, it simply says that it reinforces protection against instant death. So, it has the exact same effect as the Protect Ring, but only if it is successfully cast in time in a fight. If it's not, and then something like Doom were to be used, you don't have that protection. But if you already have the Protect Ring equipped on all of your characters, it pretty much makes this spell completely useless. But again, it's completely your call as to if you want to spend the money on it. You can never be too safe. If you really want to double down on the protection, then I say go for it. Have Protect Ring equipped on everybody and have Null Magic and cast that, and you are doubling down on that protection. Now with the black magic shop in this town. You have Saber and Blind. They're both 30,000 gil as well. Saber raises his own attack by 16 and accuracy by 10. But own is the key word here. So it only affects the Black Wizard. And then Blind is very self-explanatory. It blinds a foe. So right now, I'm going to hold off on all spells. Mostly for the simple reason that they are 30,000 gil each. And I still need to check out the weapon and armor shop. There's the inn. I think it's the only thing right here, and it is. Alright, weapon and armor shop. Where you be? Where you at? And of course, there's always the possibility that there may not be one in this town, but I'd be very surprised if that were the case, especially this late in the game. Let's see what's over here. Actually, I may be very surprised. I don't think there is one. Wait for this person to move out the way. I don't think he's going to. But no, I think that's the edge of the land, and there's water up there. So no, I take that back. I am very surprised that there's not one here. That is very surprising. But I guess they figure since magic costs as much as it does, that you kind of need a... I'll go this way so I talk to both of them, but you kind of need a bit of a reprieve with your money. Alright, so we're finally getting to talk about details surrounding the water crystal. Except for her, she doesn't really say anything of importance. Something strange, huh? Wouldn't happen to be a fairy, would it? Somehow related to the dude in Gaia, talking about him capturing one and selling it. Yeah, maybe. Well, alrighty. I think you've had one too many there, pal. Well, of course. How do you think I'm standing? How do you think I'm walking and walked over to you? I didn't just float over to you. Good to know. that he did. Also very good to know. I'm sure that leads outside of town. So I'm not going to take that chance. No need to leave just yet. Unless I've talked to everybody and then... Yeah, okay. Looks like we've talked to everybody. And we're good in every other regard. Alright, so we're going to set out to find this caravan, and based on what we have been told, looks like they're going to be in this area right about there where the cursor's pointing. So you just have to travel a little ways into this desert. But one thing that I honestly had forgotten about until just now, as is being witnessed, no all is only effective on one character at a time. So that's something else that's super important to keep in mind. And I'm also glad that I haven't gotten rid of, you know, the other various null spells. So just keep that in mind as well, since they all, including null all, grant 50%, you know, well, 50% protection, cutting damage in half for that element. While they all do that, only the null bolt, null fire, null ice, so forth and so on, can be applied to the entire party in a single casting. No all cannot. So you may want to hang on to the earlier null spells. And as is being witnessed just now, this is the very first fight where an enemy is capable of inflicting poison on multiple characters in a single attack. And this type of poison definitely inflicts more damage than usual. Just trying to see if there's anything else in the surrounding area, but I think this is I think there is, but check that out in a minute. Alright, well, looks like we have just enough money to make that purchase, which is definitely a good thing. Didn't have to worry about grinding for money. Yeah, this little sand dune prevents you from walking further to the left. So yeah, that was all there was to it. So for some reason I thought that was much more involved, but it was not. I thought it was like, I mean, not a town, of course, it's just a caravan, but I thought there were a lot more people there, especially based on what some of the townspeople were having to say. So that was a little misleading. I don't think there's anything else of interest. No. Nope, and that's all in this area. Alright, so now that, maybe heading back west, not towards the town, so I will correct course in just a minute. After I get out of this fight. And sometimes you just have to experiment with spells. See what's effective and what's not. But just because a spell misses, it doesn't mean that that particular monster is completely immune to the spell. It just simply means that it missed. And that also means that I'm just going to continue. I'm going to continue to try to be successful. At this point, you really have nothing to lose. We're going to be resting up in the very near future, so it's okay to kind of, play around with your magic a little bit, even if you end up wasting some in the process. Now that we have rescued the fairy, well, I'm gonna do something real quick, see if I can't find it. Not that way, where you at? Where you at, healing staff? Healing staff. Okay. Let's see. See if stop has any effect. But now that the fairy has been rescued, it's time to return to Gaia, where I think that's a she. I think that's a female. But I'll just reference it as the fairy for now to be safe. But we're going to return the fairy to its rightful home. And see how it can help. See in what ways it can aid us. Alright, one more time for the map. Don't want to pass it. Wrong way. They really need a sign, like, you know, this way to to the overworld map. For people like me who, nope, almost did it again. For people like me who, you know, just seem to forget. I mean, it's not like we, you know, we haven't been here countless times already. There we go. There we go. Back to the spring. And yes, in case anyone was wondering, this is the light that numerous people kept referencing that they saw flying across the sky. It was the fairy the entire time. Very nice. The only way to get the Oxy Ale is for the fairy to retrieve it for you. Very nice. Just trying to see if the fairy has anything different to say. And it does not. But, and I think, yes. Well, actually, I don't know if any one person mentioned it by name. We've already heard about the Rosetta Stone by one of the scholars. I'll go back this way and get out of town quicker. But the waterfall cave is our next destination. That is where, right here, but we have to do a few different things in order to get to it. First, so we're back here, see if I can land here, and I can. Okay, closer landing spot. But it is a rather involved. Good grief. Glad that thing's dead. Dealt over 100 hit points of damage to the knight. So you know it's got a very, very powerful and high strength stat to do that. But yes, the waterfall cave is a rather involved area. So to be completely safe, I'm going to rest up and save our progress and save tackling this next dungeon in the next episode, because like I say, it's rather, from what I remember, it is rather lengthy, and we're just better off not taking any unnecessary chances. So right now, Heading back to town. Want to rest up and save our progress. And in the very next episode, we're going to be taking on the Waterfall Cave dungeon. Well, of course, let's say yes to that. And hopefully we'll be earning a lot more money because a lot of money was spent in the course of this episode on all kinds of necessary magic, but it was still quite pricey. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the very next episode. LP Guru, signing out.